Baal Haturim. I want to share one more teaching from the Baal Haturim. He says as follows, Zos, what does he say? He says in the verse, V'lavash HaKohen mido bad. The Kohen shall wear mido bad, his linen garments. U'michnas evad yobash al bisaro. He shall wear the linen garments on his flesh when he removes it from the ashes. So when he removes the ashes from the altar, he has to wear his linen garments. Comes along the Baal Haturim, and the Baal Haturim says something very, very beautiful. He says that in the merit of these linen garments, that's what we merited for salvation. So listen to what the Baal Haturim says. Mido, the word mido, he says, beit b'mesoret. It only appears twice in the Tanakh. This word only appears twice in the Bible. Once it's here, v'lavash HaKohen mido bad. The Kohen shall wear his linen garments. And number two, v'yoav chagor mido livusho. Yoav was girded with his fitted uniform, his garment, from 2 Samuel chapter 20, verse 8. By the way, I just want to pause and say there is a whole concept of having a special garment for special activities. So at the Seder, you should wear a special garment. Maybe only wear it at the Seder. Shabbos, you should have special clothing you wear only on Shabbos. It shouldn't be a regular day. It's a special clothing day. So here we're saying that the word mido appears twice in the Bible. It appears here, and it appears by David's general, Yoav. He was wearing mido levusho. He was wearing his outfit. So from the fact that the word mido appears by the Kohen when he served in the temple, and the Kohen and Yoav, the army general, receive from here, says the Baal Haturim, shebigdei kahuna hayu ke'ein bigdei milchama, that the garments of the Kohanim were like battle garments. That the Kohen was serving in the temple, it's like a soldier serving in battle. So let me just pause for a second. You know that they say that there is an argument to be made, and I'm not wading into the debate, but some Zionist rabbis who believe deeply in the state of Israel, and they developed this program where their students served in the land in the army, and at the same time they also studied Torah in their yeshivot called Hesder. So they studied and then they went and served. But there was the argument, well, how come they're serving actual less time than others? So they argued, no, their army service is actually, their yeshiva time is actually battle. That's how they're fighting the battle, by studying in the yeshiva. And so the rabbis were proposing that when they sat in the yeshiva and studied the Talmud, they wanted them to wear their army uniforms. Or I guess the equivalent, when they go into battle, they could wear their yeshiva uniforms. But the whole concept was that, and this is based upon this verse, that the priestly garments were akin to a battle garb. And this is the expression, it says, V'chein ha'me'il kefi tachra. It says about the garment, the robe of the Kohen, it's called kefi tachra, like the neck hole of a coat of mail. Meaning to say that in the merit of the priestly garments, the Israel would be victorious in battle. And there's a story about this. There's a very powerful story that's told in the Talmud and Tractate Yoma about an incident in which the garments of the Kohen Gadol were instrumental in saving Jerusalem and the Beis HaMikdash from a mighty army. What's the story from Yoma 69a? That the Kutians is a name we see from the last chapter of Nazir. It's really a reference to the idolaters they once requested permission from Alexander the Great to destroy the Beit HaMikdash, and he granted it to them. But when the Jewish people heard about this, they sent Shimon HaTzadik, who was the high priest at the time, and they told him. So Shimon HaTzadik put on his priestly garments, his 8 garments, and he wrapped his head in them, and he went out to meet Alexander, and they traveled through the night. And when they came to him, and they're approaching, and they met him in the middle at dawn. And when dawn rose and Alexander the Great saw the Shimon HaTzadik, the Kohen Gadol, he got off of his, he said to his soldiers, who are these people? And they said, these are the people that these idolaters want you to destroy them. And they're the Jews who've rebelled against you. And then he saw Shimon HaTzadik, and when Shimon HaTzadik got down from his chariot, Alexander the Great got off of his chariot and bowed down. And they said, why are you bowing down to him? He said, every single night before I went into battle, I had a dream that the man who was dressed just like you came before me and promised me success in battle. And so then he said, I will not touch the Beit HaMikdash, and he punished the idolaters who were trying to mess up the Jews. And this is the tradition about why Jews name their children Alexander. But the whole idea here is that the garments of the priests were considered to be special garments that were offering protection for the Jewish people. Let me just see if anybody has any comments on that before we turn to Dudai Ruvain. Any comments?